My name is Mike Cooper, and I'm the Executive Director of the Mountlake Terrace Senior Center, and welcome to this evening's Candidates Forum for Mountlake Terrace City Council and the Snohomish County Council, Council District Number 4. This evening's event is co-sponsored by the Mountlake Terrace Senior Center and the Mountlake Terrace First Baptist Church, and I want to thank the First Baptist Church and their members and the Senior Center members for your efforts this evening, for the facility, and to put together this forum. Please, when you leave this evening, take the rest of the snacks home with you. Well, I mean, don't like bag them up and take them home, but eat a few when you leave. I also want to thank the Mountlake Terrace High School Hawkeye newspaper staff. They're here this evening videoing this event, and the event will be on MLTnews.com tomorrow, probably. So for those of you that are here tonight and want to review the answers that you heard the candidates give, or you want to tell your friends about the forum so they can watch it, they'll be able to watch the link on MLTnews.com tomorrow. The First Baptist Church of Mountlake Terrace and the Mountlake Terrace Senior Center are nonprofit organizations. We are nonpartisan, and we do not support or endorse candidates for any of these offices. I do not live in Mountlake Terrace, and because the Senior Center gets funding from the City of Mountlake Terrace, I do not personally support or endorse any of the candidates for any of the offices that you'll be hearing from tonight. In fact, I don't live in the City of Mountlake Terrace, so many of the questions that the candidates will hear tonight, I have no vested interest in their answers. I want to thank the candidates for showing up and taking the time out of your busy schedules. All of the candidates are here for all of the City Council, 5 City Council seats, 2 are unopposed and 3 are opposed. We'll get a chance to hear from all of them. And we also have both candidates for County Council, the County Council position in Council District Number 4. I'm going to take a moment to review the ground rules this evening. We're going to do our very best to make sure this is fair, and I'll just address quickly the way the questions were collected. I got 15 questions by email at my office during the course of the last 2 weeks. I got about another 15 this evening. I'm sure it'll be of no surprise to you that they're about subjects that you all care about. All of these have to do with the City Hall or the Civic Center in Mountlake Terrace. So not every candidate is going to get an opportunity to answer all of these questions, but I did paraphrase that. I already had one that I'd received by email. I paraphrased all of your concerns, and some lucky candidate will get a chance to address that issue this evening. It's 2 candidates, some lucky position. All of these have to do with the future of the Ballinger Clubhouse. I'm sure that many of you won't be surprised by that. Again, we have paraphrased the questions, and we're going to do our best to make sure that they're fair and they're spread out among the candidates. And one of the things I did when I pulled up the questions is that while you may have asked a question of a specific candidate, I randomly selected which candidate got to answer which question. So it may not, or may not be that candidate's favorite question. We will go in order of the positions. Councilmember Rick Ryan and Councilmember Jerry Smith will go first. They'll have a 3-minute opening remark, and they will not have the pleasure of answering your questions because they're running unopposed, and we want to have an opportunity to give the opposed candidates an opportunity to answer questions this evening. Each candidate will be given a 3-minute opening statement. Candidates will be asked 2 questions on a rotating basis, and they will get 1 minute to answer the question, and then the opposite candidate will get 1 minute to respond, and then on the second question we'll go in the opposite order. And then each candidate will have an opportunity for a 2-minute closing statement. They'll go in the opposite order that they gave their opening statements in. This afternoon at the Senior Center, I had one of our very trusted Senior Center staff members pull names out of the hat to see who got to go first and second in each position. And so you'll find, and to some disappointment, that not every position the incumbent or the challenger gets to go first. It's a pretty good mix about who gets to go first because we randomly drew those. We would ask that the candidates and the audience conduct themselves civilly and with respect for each other. Please, no loud applause or loud booing during the speeches. Feel free to applaud the candidates at the end of their time. That way we'll use the time the best rather than have you applaud at the end of every question and every answer. With that, I think we'll get ready to start. And I will ask council position number 1, Rick Ryan. He probably wants me to turn this on for you, right? And it should be on. It's all ready to go. That little red light should come on. Are we good, Jim, here? Okay, Rick Ryan, you're first. Position number 1.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, thank you. Anyway, good evening. I'm Rick Ryan, and I'd first like to personally thank the Mountlake Terrace Senior Center and the First Baptist Church for putting on this candidate forum. It has been my honor and privilege to serve as your council member for the past 6 years. My wife and I have lived in Mountlake Terrace for 28 years. My experience as an educator for the past 23 years and my involvement in the community has enabled me to be a good listener, fully analyze the issues, and make decisions to enhance the quality of life in our community. If re-elected, I'll continue to work on your behalf to ensure that Mountlake Terrace remains a safe, attractive, and viable community in which to live and raise a family. My goals for the next 4 years are going to be, number 1, to maintain public safety through fire, police, and emergency medical services. And 2, to continue to support economic development and downtown revitalization. My third one is to support youth and senior programs. My last one is maintain existing parks and the playfields and look for future site opportunities. My community involvement has been, I'm with the Mountlake Terrace Arts Advisory Commission Council Liaison, Mountlake Terrace Library Board Council Liaison. I'm with the Friends of the Arts and the Library. A member of the Mountlake Terrace Garden Club. I'm on the Tour de Terrace Board, and I'm a past Scoutmaster. I'd also like to add that I'm very proud of our City Council currently, especially with the shared vision and goals for our community. After studying how to work with a council, after I was appointed 6 years ago, I took classes in how to work with a council and how to be with a council and what is the council's job. And I discovered that the council needs a shared vision with goals. This has helped Mountlake Terrace move forward with new roads we've had, sorry about that, water mains, park restoration, provide a future for our downtown. It helps to be a team player to move things forward. So that is why I'm going to be supporting all of our incumbent council members and hope you will also. Thank you.
Jerry?
There's like probably 6 of you don't know me. I'm Jerry Smith. I'm the mayor of Mountlake Terrace. I've been on the council 12 years, 10 years as the mayor. There's numerous things that I'm involved in. I'll go through those real quick because we don't have much time. I also am the chair of SNOCOM, which is your communication radio system. I'm also the co-chair, and will be the chair of SIRS, which is all your radio towers. I'm the chair of the Ballinger Lake Forum. I'm also the chair of the RFA we tried to form, and we've been coming back to. I also sit on community transit in 3 different positions up there. I'm on the board, and also on the finance committee, and on maintenance and operations. So when I get done with all that, I got about 2 days a week I can devote to coming back here to work. But I enjoy the job. I've lived in Mountlake Terrace for 44 years. You'll probably see me all over town. I work doing all kinds of things. I'm a general contractor. Now I want to get into council business. I've heard the rumor out there that we do not listen to you. We do. I want to explain why you don't get to talk at the first part of the meeting, because if you've got something you want to bring up at the first part of the meeting, you've got to notify our staff so they get a chance to research. So when you ask the question, we can answer it intelligently. So therefore, if you want to talk to us and want an answer on that night you come to the council meeting, you need to notify the staff, preferably the city clerk or city manager, and he will get the information for us so we can answer intelligently. If you want something pulled off the consent calendar, as some of the candidates said they would, you need to approach one of us 7 and ask that that item be removed, because if you don't approach us, we're going to approve the consent calendar, because prior to everything going on the consent calendar, I got to tell you, we probably hear 10 to 15 times at workshops. So we know it pretty well, and we get callous, forget to tell you, we know this over and over and over, because our past city manager made sure that he beat us into our head every time. I want to give you a quick scenario on the downtown development we started 7 years ago, the plan. The plan was developed because we came together, because this part of town was burnt down by an arsonist a long time ago. Things went dead. So the council at that time says we want to rebuild. So we did. We went in and we started off with 2 people from each one of the boards. Library, Parks, Rec, and all those. Those 12 people went all over the city and the state and looked at different city halls, and that's how they came back with this plan. And then we had open meetings at the library, at the city hall, up at the high school, and so on. We took all your guys' feedback and put it all together, then they brought it back to the council, and that's what we're acting on. And there's 30 seconds already. Oh. Anyway, if I don't get all this out, you guys got questions, feel free to call me. I'll sit down with you anytime you want. 425-876-1701. That's my cell. I'll be glad to go have a cup of coffee with you and explain everything that I just said. Like I say, I've been in the city for 44 years. I was MTY president for 25. I've built some of the soccer fields here. Some of the guys here are also the same people volunteer, and we do Tour de Terrace. We've done that for 20 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Your excuse. Next, we're going to go to position number 3, which is Doug McCardle and Steve Barnes. While the candidates are coming up, hold up that big stop sign right there. Hold it up really high so everybody in the back can see the color. So the candidates are getting a 1 minute, a 30-second, and when they get that pink time that says stop in their face, that means stop, and I'll probably jump up and take the microphone away from you. Okay, by random drawing, the first candidate to give their opening remarks will be Mr. Barnes. You have 3 minutes, and followed by Mr. McCardle for 3 minutes. You don't have to turn that microphone on. It'll start going when you talk.
Do I have to hold it?
You have to hold it, though. Okay. Pretty close, too, because it sounds like we're a little low on the volume.
Okay. Is it on?
It's on.
1, 2, 3? Okay. Hi, I'm Stephen Barnes, a homeowner in Mountlake Terrace since 1988, which I found to be a wonderful suburb full of great parks, good schools, and great people. I'm running for honest politics, for transparent communication, and for common sense budgeting. I've become a regular attender at city council meetings since the April Civic Center bond issue came up. One of my planks for running is honest politics. By that I mean when the public speaks, they're given true opportunity. My first 2 opportunities to speak with the council, I was met with opposition in the sense that I came and I was not allowed to speak. It was about the bond issue and the fact that we got 2 brochures, one right after the other. Wanted to speak with them, and I was not allowed publicly to address them. Second time I came, I was interrupted when I tried to speak and told to frame every statement as a question, which was an obstruction of my attempt to communicate. A second plank of my bid to be, a second plank of my bid to be a representative is transparent communications. One of the things that I had questions about was the chart that was used in the April bond issue. I discovered that it compared a 30-year cost with a 50-year cost, which none of us would normally do. And in addition to that, the 30 years is the mortgage, and the 50 year is the rent, which is the equivalent of possession, plus additional costs. So I realized that we were being steamrolled. None of us would have compared a 30-year cost to a 50-year cost, and certainly not unequal measures. on common sense budgeting and the Civic Center now. When I learned that the owner of the Redstone building paid $700,000 to upgrade his facilities just to fit the current council's wish list, and the current council is already poised to continue renting for another 3 years at favorable rates, making it a total of 8 years, I realized the Civic Center debate has deflated for our current council, and we already have a city hall fitting our needs. On the downtown core, unlike the characterization in the Everett Herald, I'm not against the downtown core plan. What I am against is our continual investment in future citizens at a time when we've not seen the interest in development that should have occurred under the best interest rates and lowest property prices in our lifetime. One more thing, I am against extending the boundaries and building heights of the downtown core as has been done as recently as May of this year. I'm Stephen Barnes. I'm asking for your vote for City Council number 3.
Thank you. Mr. McCardle, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, my name is Doug McCardle, and I am currently finishing my first term as a Mountlake Terrace City Council member, and I am running for re-election. I began serving the city in 2006 when I was appointed to the Community Police Advisory Board, where I served on that board for 2 years, and then I moved up and was appointed to the Planning Commission, where I served as a city planner for 2 to 2.5 years. And in 2010, I ran for an open seat on council and was elected. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Thank the Mountlake Terrace Seniors Group and the First Baptist Church for sponsoring this forum. My hope is that when the forum is over, you will have a sense of who we are. Myself, Mr. Barnes, and the other candidates. How we will lead the city, if elected or re-elected, and that you can confidently cast your vote based on what you hear tonight. That is my hope for the end of this forum. If re-elected, I will continue our revitalization program that we have going on in the city, focusing on our Main Street, because I firmly believe that the future of the city lies in the ability to increase our revenues through that downtown redevelopment and revitalization process. By increasing the revenues, we're assured the money's needed to maintain our momentum for our current levels of service. We can continue to afford clean and safe city parks. We can repair our public facilities, and we can continue to offer quality services from our police department and Fire District 1. I will, again, be committed to leading the growth of Mountlake Terrace and find solutions for City Hall as well as other aging public facilities as I look forward to serving you in my second term. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, first question. First question in Mr. Barnes, you will answer this question first. What do you see as the best approach to economic development for the city of Mountlake Terrace? And you have 1 minute to answer the question.
Okay, so the question is, what do I see is the best approach?
What do you see as the best approach for the economic development of the city?
I believe that the city has been doing a lot of things that should have brought in a spurt of growth, a frenzy of growth. I haven't seen that happening. We might need to look at a different approach. We have done a lot of things to increase our possibilities, but it has not borne fruit. And so I'm not sure that at this stage that we really have that option. So that's my position on that.
Thank you. Mr. McCardle.
Yes.
Same question. What do you see as the best approach for the economic development of the city?
I feel the best approach for the economic development of the city is to maintain the momentum we have currently going on. We have a good, solid town center plan. We're finally seeing that plan being realized with the new building that went in on 236 and 56. And if you drive down 56 headed south, you'll see there's another new construction building going. They just broke ground, and there's a big hole in the ground just north of Rogers Market. So I think we just need to maintain where we are, continue putting our town center plan into action, And I think that we're going to really begin seeing Mountlake Terrace grow and redevelop.
Thank you. Second question, and Mr. McCardle, you will go first.
Thank you.
As I mentioned, all of these questions are about City Hall, so when I ask the question, feel free to sort of, in 1 minute, expand on it in any way you want, because I did my best to paraphrase all of the questions. Should the City of Mountlake Terrace continue renting office space for an interim City Hall? If so, for how long? If not, how would you address the long-term solution for a City Hall in Mountlake Terrace?
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. That's a great question. I think at this point we need to continue renting in our interim City Hall. It works for us. We're in the process of possibly renegotiating our lease for a 3-year extension, which would give us the time to really take another look at the issue of a civic campus. We started out with a $37.5 million price tag. We reduced it down to 25. And both of those times we had majority support. We just could not get the supermajority to get that passed. So I think we can take another run at it, another look at the scope. Maybe the building's too much, too big. We don't need an amphitheater or the landscaping amenities. But I think for the next 2-3 years, we should stay renting where we are. We can afford it, and really take a real hard second look at that building and what needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Did you want me to read the question again, Mr. Barnes? Okay. Again, feel free to expand on this question related to the City Hall in any way that you would like. Should the City of Mountlake Terrace continue renting office space for interim City Hall? If so, for how long? If not, how would you address the long-term solution for a permanent City Hall in Mountlake Terrace?
One, we have to determine that we need to have a different City Hall than we have. It is meeting our needs, and through the statements of a number of the members of the council, the intent is to continue going for another 3 years, so a total of 8 years there. Interim seems maybe not a realistic way to phrase the name for that hall. In 2008, the City Council, thank you, the City Council put together, had some consultants put together a plan. They said that you could build between $8 and $12 million a facility that fit their wish list. The previous proposal was $1,000 a square foot, whereas normal commercial building costs $250 to $400. That would bring it down to in that $8 to $12 million range. And so that would be a more appropriate choice.
Thank you. Okay, now for closing remarks, you each have 2 minutes, and Mr. Barnes went first in the opening remarks, so Mr. McCardle, you have 2 minutes for your closing remarks.
Thank you. Just again, I'd like to reiterate and thank you for hosting this forum. And again, my hope for you is that you have a sense of who we are as candidates, how we would lead the city if you choose to vote for us, and that you can confidently cast your vote based on what you hear tonight. I am the incumbent, finishing my first term. I'm up for re-election. Your vote will speak as to how well of a job you think I've done. If re-elected, I will maintain our current momentum with our downtown revitalization. I think that is the key to the growth of the city. Looking at the future with light rail coming in, we'll have a station for sure at 236th, a possible one at 220th. We need to be ready for that. Just increasing those revenues, we can maintain our services and our public facilities, clean and safe parks for the community. I just, again, thank you for coming out, and hopefully I have gained your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Barnes.
Again, thank you for the opportunity to come together, and thank you, all of you Mountlake Terrace active citizens who come out to get some better ideas. I disagree. I believe that this is not enough time to tell you everything that needs to be said. I do have a website, bettermlt.com, which I would suggest you have a look at. It's a pleasure to introduce my thoughts and hopes for a better Mountlake Terrace, one where citizens are heard and afforded more clear communication. and an opportunity to know what is going on, more opportunity for input in an honest environment. I represent common sense budgeting. We need to live within our means as a city, just like you and I do when we're at home. Because we continue to navigate difficult times, as the city manager said, it may not include all the wants we might have, but good city services and properly maintained city resources should be part of that picture. I will focus on budget issues from a careful pocketbook attitude. Please vote for me, Stephen Barnes, for council position number 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Go. Okay, the next candidates are from council position number 4, Kyoko Wright and Wanda Clark Morin. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes, Wanda Morin.
And you got my correct.
I took it out of the voting pamphlet, so I wouldn't make a mistake there. Okay, let's see here. Ms. Clark Morin, you go first on opening remarks. You have 3 minutes.
Wonderful. May I stand?
You may, but please use the microphone.
I've never been known to have a soft voice either.
Well, we need to pick it up on the video.
My normal position as a faculty member at the Art Institute means I'm used to standing in front of people. I'm not used to sitting in front of people. So that's why it's more comfortable for me to stand here and hold this. So I want to tell you a little bit who I am. My family and I moved here 14 years ago. I've got 2 boys. I'm a single mom. Moved up from LA. While I lived in LA, I was somewhat politically active. I'm a past president of the Woodland Hills Business and Professional Women Organization, in which we were lobbying for women's pay equity. We still haven't gotten there. When I moved up here, being a single mom, teaching part-time, going to school part-time, politics stayed on the sidelines. Now that both of my boys, bless their sweethearts at 18 and 21, are no longer demanding my constant attention, though they still would like to think I'm supposed to make dinner for them every night, I am able to have some time to actually go back and devote myself into the politic world. Though a couple of people have said, well, you're pretty busy. And it's true, I am pretty busy. I'm about a year away from finishing my doctorate in business administration. So that takes my time. But I find that as who I am, that it's my time to consider being a part of this community in a way other than just as a constituent, actually having something to say and having a way to bring this community together. Thank you. What I find when I go out and I talk to people, my neighbor who's lived in his house for more than 40 years, he says to me, I don't vote. I don't feel like my voice makes an opinion anymore. And I go, well, what about? So I find I'm all the time educating him. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people within the community. My role, I believe, is to be that person who can listen, who can talk, and who can therefore bring this community together and have more interest. We've got about 38% of the community voting. I would love to see that increase in being interested in what's going on in the community, in the City Hall, instead of allowing 38% to make the decisions for the other 62% of us who live here. Thank you.
Ms. Wright, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. I'm Kyoko Wright, and I have lived here for 29 years. I'm running for my 2nd term. And I started on the Planning Commission about 10 years ago, and I didn't realize that that was the beginning of planning for our town center. And so I've actually been working with the city with our town center plan for all this time. First with the planning commission and then now 6 years with the city council. So I'm really, really proud of what we've accomplished. Our city has been run so well. We're in the black. We're one of the few cities that are not in the red. We have won so many awards for our auditing from the state auditor. That means that we take care of what we spend, and we're really doing a good job. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting these awards. When we first put together this town center plan, we won a few awards then too. One of the awards that we got was for, let's see, well, we won a governor's award for our town center plan. And then we won another award that was for the people, for getting input from the public. And that was in 2007. When we started, I've been hearing a lot about people saying that we don't listen, we don't have enough public input. And yet, in 2007, we had 28 town center and public open meetings between July 2006 and February of 2007. We have had so many meetings with our public, and when we vote, and I know that when I vote, I try to see both sides of the issue. I also listen to anyone that I can talk to, that will talk to me and give me their opinions. So I'm really proud of all of the things that we've done. Our town center is growing. It probably didn't grow as fast as it should because of the economy. And sure, we all know that people weren't getting any loans because of the economy. And so now that everything has changed, we're going to see a lot of things happening. And I'm really, really looking forward to what is going to be coming on. And I really would like to be a part of it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, first question is, let's see, the first question, and Ms. Clark Moore and you will answer first, and you all have 1 minute. The first question is, how would you make city government information more open, accountable, and available to the residents of the community?
Oh, I love that question.
Don't forget to use the microphone. And you have 1 minute.
I love that question. When I first started getting more interested in what was going on in City Hall, and I would go online to try to look at the city notes from the council meetings, I couldn't find them. I'm a Mac user. They don't pull up on my Mac. I had to go to school and pull them up on a PC. And then, when I looked at them, I saw bits and pieces of information that, as a person that is a reader, I decided that there wasn't enough there for me to really get a feel for what was going on in City Council. I personally believe that a great way to get the community, of which 25% of our community is age 55 and older, and they do read, they're not like an 18-year-old, that to have actual written transcripts of the city council would be a benefit to everyone to really see what was said, how it was said, and how they can respond to be better informed.
Thank you. Ms. Wright, the same question. Would you like me to repeat the question? Okay. How would you make city government information more open, accountable, and available to residents of the community?
Thank you. I think we're doing a very good job of it right now because our website gets 30,000 hits a day. We have a city newsletter still for people who need to have something in their hands to read. Other cities have discontinued their newsletters. We still have ours. We have been getting a lot of word out through press releases. In 2012, last year, the city of Edmonds sent out 81 press releases. Our city sent out 275. In 2008, we started our community service resource. 2009, we had 239 press releases, 228 in 2010, and 264 in 2011. So that along with Granicus, you can listen to us on Granicus.
Okay, hang on to the microphone because you go first on the next question. The second question, then, Ms. Wright will go first. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, over 29% of the city population is age 50 and over. The Census Bureau projects that number to be 45% in the year 2020 when the next census is taken. What is your long-term solution to providing services in our community to our aging adult population?
Thank you. I think that because of the baby boomers, and I'm one of them, we really are looking at things that we need for our aging people. The new construction that is coming in just north of Rogers Market is for our aging population. Another new construction that is coming in on 244th is for our aging population. We have a wonderful facility at Neuro Gardens. We have a lot of things that we're planning on in our plans that are coming up that are mixing the older people and the younger people. And if you want to have more information on that, you can always come and talk to any one of us later, since I don't have the time for it right now.
Thank you. Would you like to repeat the question?
No, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I am of that generation. My kids don't tell me I look that, but that's okay. It's just good makeup. And I tell them I'm going to be one of the most rocking baby boomers in 2020 that's going to happen. And I want to live in a community that has rocking fun things for me to go to. I would love to see us having pop-up art galleries. I'm a hand-fabricated jeweler. I would love to see events for us to go to. I would love to see a great senior center so that people can join together, can celebrate their community. I would love to see opportunities for the transportation to get them to that community center. And I would love to see great situations where they could live in the retirement homes and feel like they can get around. I can tell you as a single parent, my biggest concern is that how am I going to get around when my kids are not there? And I want to be able to make sure that the people around me can have that opportunity to enjoy their community.
Thank you. Okay, and closing remarks. Ms. Wright, you go first, and you have 2 minutes. That was 2 questions, right? And I'm holding on the third set of candidates.
Thank you. Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge the fact that we have one missing person here tonight, and that is Murray Levin, who used to be the moderator for the senior debates. And so I just want to honor him tonight by saying we really miss him. And I am continuing to run for city council because there's so much left to do. There's so much that we can be proud of. And I'm really, really proud of the city. We are getting the attention of the state. We're getting attention of our neighbors. They're all looking at us going, what is it that is happening in Mountlake Terrace that isn't happening in the other cities? We've gotten over $3 million, or is it, $13 million in grant money that came from other sources and not our citizens' pocketbook. We're very, very good at doing that. And a reason why is because we use that money for what we tell them we're going to use it for, and we use it on time, and we don't go over budget. We promise them what we want, and we deliver it. So $13 million in grant money in the last several years, and more to come. Lots of projects going on in the city. You have wonderful roads. Other cities spend money to just fix potholes. We have new roads and sidewalks for you every single year. I hope you're proud of that. Thank you.
Ms. Clark-Moore.
I am not currently a professional politician. Unlike one of you guys, I'm a member of the community who feel that I have something to give to the community through a council position. With that, I also know that, like taking on any new job, that if I were elected to council, it would take me easily 6 months to fully get up and running on all the issues that have been going on that as a constituent I may not have been aware of. I am completely up for that. In my years of working in the apparel industry, in the directorships I have had, those things have trained me how to get up and running into leadership positions. That is something that I feel that I'm really ready to do and be a part of. I've already, through my Facebook, post information to people for people to read that I think are of interest. I'm all the time out there reading and digging and trying to find the facts that are there, or attempting to assimilate the information that I see inconsistencies in and scratch my head over and go, well, if it says this here and it says that there, what is the reality? I spend a lot of time digging and researching and learning. That is not something that I will stop doing, because I believe that that is how I will educate myself to be a better leader for this community and a member of the City Council.
Thank you. Thank you both. Before we move to our last two races, we have one city council race, a county council race. When the next wave of people turn 55, it's being referred to as the silver tsunami. But I want to give you an opportunity to take 5 minutes or so and stretch. The restrooms are down the hall, and that way you won't have to miss any of the candidates if you need to use the restroom. So about 5 minutes. And the timer will get a break that way too.
No, I just came in like 10 minutes ago. You here at the beginning. Fires, we can have that.
What's that? Oh, thank you.
This is my friend Stephanie.
Oh,
Yeah. She helped me coordinate all this. And we walked around. A few days ago.
How's it going?
Nice. Yeah, I did. We did get we get quit.
Is that coffee? Yes. Is that coffee?
Yes. I said, oh, tell me about it. I don't know. That would be interesting. I tried to call you one day, but I could tell it was going to be your voice. I thought it might be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.